Okay, what's up, sports fans? We are back, and today we've got arguably probably my favorite build I've ever done with me, and we're going to track test it. It's the V2 Panigale that we brought back from the dead. So you'll remember if you watched the build on this thing, I'll put a link up the top anyway, that it was pretty bad. It was pretty badly wrecked. The whole front end was gone. We've had to rebuild the whole thing, and we've done a Ferrari type styling on this bike, and we've also put a fair few performance parts in it, so suspension, tuning, brakes, you name it. But today we're back at my favorite track because it's my local track, Lakeside Park Raceway, and this is going to be perfect for a V2, I think, because it's got some tight, twisty sections, and it's still got a nice long straight as well. We can probably get up to about 220, 230. So anyway, let's go check out the bike, check out the track, and gear up for our first session. Stay tuned. This is my first time actually on a 9-foot, well, a twin, for a bloody long time. So this should be somewhat interesting. Already got a little bit of hip cramp going on, but that's what happens when you're my age. So we're not going to go too hard this session. I just need to start getting used to this bike. As I said, it's a twin. I'm used to sort of V4s or 1000cc bikes, so I really don't know how I'm going to go on this. It's just not going to have the power. But with any luck, that will actually suit my riding style better because, let's face it, I'm not a MotoGP rider. I'm far from it, to be honest. So I'll be really interested to see if I actually enjoy this power level more than a V4. What I can tell you straight away is that this feels narrower. Feels a lot narrower. It doesn't have that massive, big, fat, wide tank that the Aprilia has, the RSV4. It just feels a lot more streamlined. Something slightly off with the idle, so I've got to get that fixed. Hopefully you can hear this recording all right. This is a new helmet. This is one of the Foresight helmets, and this is my first time using it, so with any luck, the quality of the camera is actually going to be half decent. She's just checking all my safeties, making sure I'm in the right group. We got my mate Mick behind me on the Emily Augusta. He'll probably fly by me anyway. It's a pretty quiet day today, pretty quiet group. So, like, I think there's maybe 8-9 people in my whole group, maybe 50 riders in the whole day. Probably because it's 35 degrees outside and you'd have to be a madman to be out on track. Someone just hit my rear tire. That must be Mick. It's a nice 1098. Okay, here we go. V2 Panigale, test number 1. Well, it shifts okay. Well, it is hard. I can tell straight away that this bike is actually quite stiff. It's got a full YSS suspension set up in it, so it should be relatively racy. Oh, those brakes just bite. I've got to try and get used to everything on this bike without going too crazy. So the last thing I want to do is put this bike into a wall after the amount of work that I put into it. Bit of wildlife on track. There goes Mick, straight past, as I thought he would. I might try and sit in behind him, he's a pretty good rider. Okay, onto the straight, power, full power. 4, 5,
through the cross, come into the kink. Pretty fast track this. Down 2, into 3rd. Mick is just slowly creeping out on me. Come back here, Mick, what are you doing? My arms are so tight already. It's been a while. I've got to admit though, it feels good. Oh, that's a good entry. It actually feels like the power is right for me. It's turning easily as well. The whole bike just moves nice and easily into each corner. Whoa, dude. Definitely not getting the lean angle that I should be. Again, don't push too hard. We're not out to impress anyone. Oh, it's rough. I don't know what it is. Oh, I'm getting destroyed by these bigger bikes. Yeah, just missing that power onto the straight. It seems to hold its own through the rest of the paddock, the rest of the field. But it's that back straight and the front straight where it just doesn't have the power. Like this is what, 151 horsepower versus what I'm used to. Even the Aprilia was 181. And my V4 Pani was 207. Yeah, there's definitely something missing there. So where would I put this in terms of rideability? So far, after a couple of laps, I would say it's not as rideable as the Aprilia. But it's probably a better power band for me. Down 2, coming in, coming out wide, come back in and hit the apex. My shoulder is killing me already. Oh, it's a bit slow, a bit wide. I don't know if you can hear me on the camera, but I am puffing. Through the bus stop. And then power down on the back straight. Set it up for Hungary. Eastern loop. Just gotta relax my hands. Okay, no traffic. Here we go. Down 2. Oh, my right hip and my right shoulder are just dead. I think this is probably an in-lap for me. Brake into the bus stop, press down on my bar, far out too, far too slow through there. Yeah, you wind it on, and it just does not have to get up and go with the V4. But it is nimble as all hell. Arm up in the air and I am dusted. Oh man. I'm exhausted already. It doesn't matter how much cardio you do, you just can't prepare yourself for that. I probably overdid it a bit in the gym this week, I think. Well, I've got to be honest, this is a bike I could absolutely fall in love with. It's not a V4, but it is just sublimely clean. Oh, we'll try and hit another session maybe, see how we go. It is getting so hot. You hot? Yeah. Right, I'm gonna get some water.
That's what building bikes is about. You're about to find out that we're not all professionals. This is my first mistake. So we've got a little bit of an oil leak. I think it's coming out of the bottom of the clutch cover. I'm gonna take this belly pan off and torque it back down. Fingers crossed that'll go. And hopefully that's it for the rest of the day. Hopefully everything else runs smoothly.
Okay, here we go, second session. Nowhere near ready. I mean, I've got my gloves on. Oh, come on. Oh, the struggle is real. God knows how hot it is. 30 something degrees. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's bloody hot. Stay to the right when you come out of the pits. Okay, here we go. I think we've got Mick behind me again. On the brakes, into the bus stop. That's a bit better. A bit tighter. On the brakes, out of the bus stop. On the power. Up. Hungry, a little bit too early. Get a bit of heat in these tyres, eh? That's smooth. That's better. Two-finger braking. Much smoother. Well, a little bit tight. Oh, here we go. I'll follow Mick for a little bit. That's better. back on it. Tighter, better. Down one. Oh, we got a crash. We got a red.
Okay, so that's it. So I'm gonna call it an omen. Lots of crashes today, but at least I got around about 20 laps in to test this bike, and I've got to be honest, I couldn't be happier. Well, I could be. It could have an extra 50 horsepower, let's be honest, but for what it is, for the horsepower that it has, it delivers it awesomely. I think I've done a pretty good build because it handles through the corners, it handles coming out of the end of the straights, maybe not coming onto the straights where it lacks a little bit of power, but overall, another successful build. So, more testing to come, more bikes to come, stay tuned.